Jones family, special prayer.
Spicer family.
Amen. Spicer family.
McKenzie family.
McKenzie family.
Macedonia Church family.
Macedonia Church family.
Amen.
Special prayer for the Wynn family.
The Johnson.
The Johnson.
The Brittany.
The Crittenden.
And the Brittany.
And the Burtons. Oh, look at her boo-boos.
Prayer for the Sanders family.
Special prayer for the Sanders family.
Special prayer for Sister Vancia Graham.
Sister Von
Seal.
Seal Graham.
And for all of our young people.
All of our young people. Please pray for them. I don't know. What's in the water? What's in the water, y'all? They go, yeah. They don't know what's in there, do they? Yeah.
Special prayer request for all the missing men,
Amen.
especially those who have joined this church and then they just
Scattered,
left.
like
Scattered, like-
Yeah, so we special prayer for all the missing men, especially those who had joined
Amen.
and scattered. Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that. Any more? Yes.
Special prayer request for this country, especially with the racial tension that's continuing.
Amen. This country and the racial tension, we want to make
That
sure.
God
Special
will
prayer.
put a covering
Thank you.
around people who will be directly affected.
Amen. That God will put a covering around those who will be directly affected. Amen. Yes.
Special prayer for Bennett family and the White family.
Special prayer for the Bennett and White family.
And a new job with no weekend.
And new job with no weekends. Amen. So an opportunity to become committed and physically present. Yes, darling.
Glenn Estelle and family.
Brother Glenn Estelle and family.
Amen.
Brother Raymond Washington. Let's lift him up in prayer.
And special prayer for a good retirement for me.
Amen. Special prayer for a good retirement for Sister,
Amen.
I can't say it now, Bennett.
Amen. Special prayer for Faith Praise.
Special prayer for State Craig.
Amen.
It just slipped me. I've seen it.
Brother Joe Ragland.
Brother Joe Ragland. Special prayer.
Amen.
I got it. Brother Steve still, who's recovering from knee replacement.
Amen. Brother Steve Still recovering from knee surgery. Special prayer.
Amen.
Any other special prayer requests or sick and shut in? Yes.
Special prayer request for those mates, be it woman or man, who are in a marriage where it's not equally yoked. Amen.
You hear that? She said those who are in a marriage who are not evenly yoked. Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's enough just right there to preach. So, in addition to that, if I can encourage you, because see, one thing I do know, and you should know, is that anytime there's a move of God, anytime God has a work to do and He has plans for His people, He's going to attack leadership. Amen. So I really want to ask a special prayer for Pastor McKenzie himself as the pastor leading this flock, his family, amen, who will definitely get attacked, and then all of his leaders that are trying to actually push his agenda, because I promise you, he's looking for the weakest link.
Yeah.
I always say that to my family. I'm like, listen, don't be the weakest link. The enemy always looking for the weakest link. Don't be it. I need you to pray that he can't find a hole. Amen. He will not work. It will not break through. I don't care what happens. We will not separate. We will not leave. We will not quit. We will not get discouraged. We will not start thinking negative. We will not start talking negative. Nothing. Amen. But instead, we'll be about God's business. Amen. So if you will make sure in the midst of your prayers that you call out the name of this church, the leadership of this church, that all of us will not only get in line, but that nothing will stop us from doing what God has called us to do. I really would appreciate that. Amen? All right, so at this time, we're actually going to some scripture, probably ones you're not used to. Psalms 107, 19 through 20. She said, sure. And then I'll be going to Matthew 11, 28 through 30.
Psalms 107, 18,
19 through 20. And if somebody could read Psalms 107, 19 through 20 real loud, that would be helpful.
Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distress. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their distress.
Amen. Amen. So what does it take to get us healed?
calling out to the Lord.
They called out. He didn't do nothing but send a word.
Amen.
Last time I know when I called my daddy because I needed something fixed, he just sent a word. Well, he might have. He ain't get fixed if he just sent a word. Amen. He probably sent a good word. Then he came. Amen. So he showed up. But the main thing is that God will just send a word and can heal. With one word, amen? That's the God we serve. What's the next scripture? Somebody have it? Matthew 7, 24 through 25. 7, 24 through 25. If you have it, go ahead and read that nice and loud.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
I think I did the wrong thing. Matthew 11, 28 through 30. I'm sorry. Still good is good. I want that rock. I want that foundation.
Come unto me, all that are
There we go.
Come unto me, all that ye labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light.
Amen. So he's saying you need to come unto him. A lot of stuff is happening because we won't come to him. Amen. A lot of stuff won't work because we ain't calling out to him. We calling Moo Moo and Mimi and Mookie. And they ain't got no answer. They don't have no word. Can't fix it, right? He said you got to come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden. So that means if you're doing the work and you know you're tired even doing the work, you got to first be doing the work. He said you're supposed to be a laborer. Now, he ain't going to try to give you strength to go partying.
No.
But he said if you out there doing what I called you to do, come on to me. I promise you. I will give you rest. He said, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. So you can't learn what somebody else doing. He said, learn from me. We always want to compare ourselves to one person or another. He said, no, you got to pay attention to me. Look at me. Look up. Look up. Amen. Focus up. Focus up. That's what he's telling us. So he said we have to be reminded that he is our true source. He's the one that can save us. He's the one that keeps us. And it says, he said, I'm gentle and lowly in heart. So he ain't going to just rough you up. He said, I'm going to be gentle with you. I'm going to make sure I take care of you. Yeah. He's going to make sure that you're okay. And he said, and you will find rest for your soul.
That's what we need.
A lot of us tired, and we talked about that before, but we soul tired.
Yeah.
Amen? Yeah. Sleep can't do it. You can't take no Ambien to get the rest you talking about that you missed. Amen? It ain't going to work. He said your soul tired. You've been on the battlefield for a long time. Well, some say you ain't tired yet, but you know you tired.
Yeah, it hurts.
You tired because you're trying to use your own strength, your own mind, your own thoughts, your own ways. And he said, come on to me.
Yeah.
I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I got it. I got the answer for it. So that's what we're going to do. So he said, for my yoke is easy, but my burden is light. Amen. So if you will, get with your prayer partners. I'm going to go ahead and give you about 3 minutes on this prayer. We're going to pray over those two scriptures. And then I ask for you, please, to make sure you remember church leadership, that you really speak that out, okay? 40 seconds.
I'll make a banana cheesecake, and she eats my crust. She eats my crust. She's like, my man is cookies, and I'm saying she got my little stripes in there. I'm like, yeah.
You are gonna keep praying. We're gonna move forward. At this time, we're actually going to be about soul saving business. Amen. Amen. You know what? When we were immature believers, it was all about us.
Yeah.
I used to say in a heartbeat, man, I'm just trying to get up. I don't care what y'all do. It was all out of line. Didn't know I was responsible for trying to get you there too. Said, no, you didn't just make it about you, but it was, amen. But it has nothing to do with us. That's the thing. The more we try to get somebody else, we instantaneously get ourselves there, amen. Because that means we walking in the will of God, doing what God called us to do, and so we are pleasing Him when we're seeking to get someone else connected to Him. Amen. So He didn't have to think about you. He said, if you just think about somebody else, you instantaneously get closer to them. Amen. You don't have to worry about you. He said, I got you.
One more round.
I mean, just pay attention to somebody else and I got you. Amen. So we're actually, if you'll turn with me to Romans 10, we're going to actually read Romans 10, 10, 1, 2, and 3. And if somebody will read it nice and loud for me. Romans 10.
My heart desire and prayer to God for Israel, that they may be saved. For I bear them witness that they have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and seeking to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted to the righteousness of God.
Amen. So I want you to pray this prayer, but I want you to insert Albion or anybody else you know have not submitted to the will of God. Amen. I want you to insert that in, because just like He was praying for Israel, we got to pray for our brothers and our sisters.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Some of them we haven't submitted. You know, I had somebody say, oh, I know God. I know God. Well, you know what? I know Obama. But that don't mean nothing, right?
Right.
If you don't have a relationship and you actually trying to follow Him, you know Him, don't do you know? You have to be trying to not only, you have to confess, you have to believe, and you need to obey. Amen?
Amen.
So we're going to pray that people will submit to the will of God. So that's what it says in that. I know we all know Romans 10:9, but I wanted to make sure that we pray for those who aren't submitting to the will of God. Amen? And I need you to earnestly have some names in mind, some locations, maybe some teams, maybe you just want to say teams, whatever. Insert some names so that way we can make sure people are actually ready to receive a word so they can follow Christ. Amen?
Amen.
All right. If you give your groups one more time, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 minutes and 14 seconds. 1 minute. You are finished. I just encourage you to give God some glory.
Hallelujah.
Amen. I'm praying souls are saved, lives are changed. Albion is no longer the same. People are ready to do what God said. They're not tired no more. Amen. They don't have no more excuses. Amen. Addictions are broken. Strongholds broken. Bondage is broken. Amen. Amen to that. Because I know when we give God glory after the word, it's already done. Somebody say amen. Amen. It's done. It's done. Say it's done. It's done. Everything is done. I don't care what came your way, it's done. Don't even worry about it. We got it. We got it. We got God on it, and He has already taken care of it. Amen. As you know, we have a lot of people who went to Chain Lake. I think you did. And some of y'all probably just didn't go to Chain Lake and didn't come here and just figured they'd be hoping to be counted in that number. Yeah, we talking about you. Amen. So we want to actually lift up a silent prayer inside you as well for Chain Lake. That's supposed to be saved through that transformation. Amen. Because I know the word is going forth there. And I promise you, if you had just showed up there, you'd have grown up over there, but you're going to grow up over here too. Because we got Jock coming with a nice little lesson. Amen? Amen. But before we get to Jock, I wanted to go over just a few announcements. And one, I needed your help on. So I need you to at least get one partner. And I need you to just kind of look them in the eye. You ain't got to touch them. But I need you to say this. I beseech you. I beseech you. Therefore, now if it's a sister, say sister, but we're going to, if it's not, say brother. Sisterin, brethren. All right. By the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Now give God glory and honor. Now, what that means is they just spoken to you that it's something you've been holding back that you need to let go of. Amen. So they said it's the least you can do. I beseech you, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you that it's time to get busy. And so although we insert it in some areas and we say it might be ministry, it might be something else. We're not doing what God called us to do. He said now is the time. It's time. See, Macedonia is going to another level, but you got to be ready. Because all of us, you ever seen that? Oh, I want more money, and we ain't managing a little bit we got. He said, I can't give you more because you won't show me you know how to do with what I've already given you. Why do you think you ain't got that car? Go out there and you got more stuff in that car then you can know what to do with it. And then you want a new car. He said, I ain't giving you no new car to mess up.
You need a jump.
I'm not giving it to you. I beseech you, therefore, brother, we have to be a living sacrifice, willing to do with what God wants us to do with ourselves. Amen. And a lot of us spend a lot of time pleasing everybody else but Him. Amen. So that's a shameless plug me when it comes down to ministry. So if you're not in the ministry, I know you're going to sign up. Amen. Amen. That's what that is. See how you do that, Christina? Kind of slide it in there. Right. So you slide it in there smooth, and then you hit it another way instead. But if you're not doing something for Christ,
Yes, Lord.
that you know He's called you to do, it's time to get busy. It's a ministry that should be started, but you decided you were too tired.
Amen.
It's some things you need to be attending to, and you just said, I ain't gonna do it. And He said, now is the time. He wants to get us to a new church over there, and He won't allow it to happen. He won't allow the money to come in the way it's supposed to because we're not ready.
That's right. He's holding it back.
Nobody in the way but us. So if we all get it, and that's why it amazes me, Pastor said, anybody all in, anybody come in, I'm in. If we all in, then we should have people saved every day according to Acts 2 Church.
Yeah, that's right.
Every day. When they did what they were supposed to, the church just grew every single day. They didn't say every Sunday. They said every day. So if people not joining and getting baptized and stuff consistently, we doing something wrong.
That's right.
And I ain't saying you, I said we.
All of it.
Amen?
Right.
So we need to get busy. Amen?
Amen.
Praise God. So I want to encourage you. If you're not in ministry, sign up. We got to get plugged in.
Yeah.
That's one. If you're not in ministry, you have got to plug in. Again, that phone. What did we say? If it ain't, when it's plugged in, you know exactly where it is.
That's right.
If it ain't plugged in, it's suspect.
Yeah, you don't know what it is.
Amen? We got to get plugged in to the source, because the source is Jesus.
That's right.
And the more we stay plugged in, the more power we get.
That's right.
Amen?
Amen.
I don't know about you, but I want my battery on full.
That's right.
Amen? I want everything God has for me. So I want you to stay plugged in. So one, if you're not in ministry, get in one. Two, if you in ministry, but you know somebody else who's not in ministry, get on it.
Get on it.
Because I'm not connected to everybody, but all of us are connected to
We
somebody.
got to join this thing together.
Amen? So that means it's your responsibility to make sure somebody else gets in ministry. It's not just one person. We got to have it. We got to do it. Amen? All right. So that's enough of that. Thank y'all for that announcement. Y'all did a beautiful job. Y'all should do that on Sunday. That is so nice. Other thing is, I want to remind you that July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we'll be in Kalamazoo, Mount Zion, so there will be no Bible study here, but we'll be going to Kalamazoo. Right? Everybody commit to that, right? I see some no's, I see maybes, and some yes.
Sign up sheet is there.
Sign up sheet is
Sign up for your classes.
sign up for the classes. It's out in the hallway. We want to make sure we get that done. I'm assuming the bus is going as well.
Yes.
So we got to sign up for the bus. If not, find somebody to ride with. Do what we got to do. We need to get there. One thing I do know, if you have not been, it's always powerful. It's always life-changing, and I promise you this. It's so powerful that I guarantee you the enemy's going to bring up something that's going to say, I can't make it.
Amen.
Oh, he's going to. Expect it. See, I like to live it knowing what the enemy finna do. He can say, it's too long, it's too many nights, it's too far. He gonna put everything in your way. Everything's gonna happen, but you gotta say, you know what? I know it's a blessing. I know it's a blessing with my name on it. I'm gonna be there. Amen? So get ready for it. You can't let the enemy surprise you. You gotta surprise him by knowing what he's gonna do in advance. Amen? So again, it's the spiritual disciplines that make a difference. It's the theme of it. It is the D6 conference. Again, that's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Pastor will be teaching commitment over compromise. He said you can take any class on his, but he wouldn't be mine. He's mad if you took his as well. I just knocked the mic out. Thank goodness I have a good mouth. So we want to remind everybody that that's happening next week. In addition to that, I already went over ministry places, so we good to go. So today,
Amen.
Without further ado,
good job. Amen. Yeah, that one's got a powerful word. Because now I can't do nothing. He's going to be standing still now to mess him up. He'll work on the job. Alright, so at this time, without further ado, we are going to introduce our teacher for this evening, Minister Jock Harris. Can we give him a round of applause?
Amen. Somebody, let me get 3 people to pass out these handouts. They making sure I don't move. They already making sure I don't move. The devil gonna make me throw the mic down.
Right.
You see, to tell y'all a story real fast, a quick little thing. Not going to interfere on my time. No, that's fine. It's fine. I got on flip-flops today. Last time I taught or preached in flip-flops,
What happened?
my grandma told me she was gonna whoop me. So I'm glad she ain't got Facebook, but all y'all don't tell her I got on my flip-flops.
They on the phone telling her?
Yeah, I'm sure they tell her right now. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the reason I got on flip-flop is to make sure I teach and don't preach today, because I don't want to preach. I got on these, and if I try to preach, I might slip and hurt myself. All right, let us turn to Genesis, the 32nd chapter, the 22nd verse. Let's begin there. The scripture for today comes from Genesis, the 32nd chapter, the 22nd through the 29th verse. While we're looking for it, I want to give all honor and praise to God up above and God that is in here with us, dwelling with us in our midst. I want to thank Pastor McKenzie.
Amen.
Everybody wave to Pastor McKenzie. I'm sure he's at Chain Lake, but I'm sure he's going to watch this on Facebook.
Hey, Pastor.
Thank him for this opportunity to continue to strengthen my gift as a teacher.
Amen.
For all of our teachers, I really am encouraged by all of us when we stood here on Sunday. It really made me realize that as a teacher, when the entire church is trained as teachers, you just can't bring no junk to the table. You gotta bring it. You gotta bring it. So today I was at Life Care. I was working on this.
All right.
So I'm trying to bring it today. The lesson for today is, are you committed? Are you committed? Again, the scripture, Genesis 32nd chapter, the 22nd through the 29th verse. Can I get a reader for that?
And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. The word of God.
Amen. Thank you for reading. Again, the lesson title for today is, Are you committed? The aim is to show how to live with a commitment to Christ.
Amen.
I think that, honestly, it's time for us as Christians to begin being honest with ourselves.
All right.
We need to face the facts that many Christians are so uncommitted that the church itself appears to be dying.
Okay.
Look at us today. Look around. We know it's some people that's at Chain Lake District. We know it's some people at Home District. We know it's some people that say they at Work District even though they at Home District. And some people at Food District because they trying to get them something to eat right now, knowing they can still get something to eat afterwards.
Amen.
But the truth of the matter is that our commitment levels are dwindling in Christianity. See, people say that they believe in God, but they don't live it. They say they are believers, but yet as soon as adversity hits, they start to have doubts and slowly begin to no longer believe. People say they trust God. They say that they are committed to Him. They love Him, but yet when things do not go their way, they turn their backs on Him. People pray for healing. They pray for jobs, pray for a better life. They pray that God brings them or sends them a husband or wife. They pray for material things. They pray day in and day out for the things that they want. But oftentimes when the prayer is answered, they forget to praise the one who answered it. They forget the name of the one that they prayed to late at night and early in the morning. When the prayer is answered, they stop showing up to the church house. They stop praying. They stop talking about God. See, I'm not talking about here in Macedonia. I know we ain't never had no folks that just started showing up and then as soon as they got a man or as soon as they got a woman, as soon as they got that job, they stop showing up. I'm talking about other churches.
Oh yeah,
You know, not at Macedonia. See, their commitment to him is gone because there are some people that are only in it for the blessing. And not the blessing.
Oh yeah.
He's a blessing and not the blessing. So my question to each of you today is, are you committed? Are you committed to the blessing or are you committed to the blesser? Being committed to the blessing is not too difficult.
Right.
I mean, it's easy to be committed to the blessing. You know what you want, so I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get that.
Right.
But being committed to the blesser, I can say that that's a little bit more difficult.
Oh yeah.
See, because, times don't get a little rough when it's trying to get the blessing. Yeah, you might have to wake up when you don't want to when you're trying to get the blessing. But when you committed to the blesser, it seems like it's just a little bit more hard. It seems like the enemy just wants to give you a little bit more piece of his fight. See, yes, times will get rough, and yes, sometimes you'll have doubts, and of course we want to throw in the towel. There are times we might want to cry. There are times when we actually will cry. Times of pain and discomfort. Times when we may be broken by our brothers and our sisters. But my brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you today that your commitment to God is worth it.
Oh, thank you, bro.
So today, I present to you 4 things you need to understand that will strengthen your commitment to God.
All right.
Y'all don't pay attention to that last part.
Oh yeah.
Right up under it. Telling you to hang on in there. I was being sarcastic when I said don't read that. Telling you to hang on in there. I threw that part in there because for y'all that kept the last lesson I had, that same part I said in there. Hang on in there. The Bible teaches us when we hang in there, there's a reward at the end. So people that's trying to get that blessing, get that commitment with God and hang in there, and you're going to get a blessing in there. James 1:12 says, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him.
Amen.
I don't know no better blessing than the blessing God's going to give me. I can't even think of a blessing that I want that's better than the one God's going to give me. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So again, hang on in there. Yes, it's be difficult. Yes, we're going to cry sometimes. But we got to still hang in there. First thing we got to understand when we hanging in there and when we're committed to Christ is we have to understand that some people may not help you when you're in trouble.
That's sure.
See, let's look at this. I saw this and I was shocked myself. I almost got mad at my wife for Jacob. Said, verse 22-24 says, and he arose that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, my wife almost got mad at me right there, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the floor of Jabbok. He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent over what he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and the men wrestled with him until the breaking of day. See, think of that. Jacob, out at Victory Park. There's a little stream, there's a brook out at Victory Park. And Jacob's like, hey, y'all going over there. Take everything I got, I'm going to bring it over. And then I'm going to come over next. And the thing is when Jacob gave up everything he had, when his family was over across that brook. I want y'all to see this for a second. Come here, Minister Spicer. This is the brook right here. I done gave Minister Spicer everything I got. As soon as I give her everything I got, here comes a man, come up behind me and grab me and wrestle with me. I'm just gonna say,
In our sanctified mind.
in my sanctified and Holy Ghost filled, water baptized mind, that my wife and children is sitting over there, and somebody come up and grab me, and they just across from me, they better be coming across and fighting with me. See, you expect the people that you came with, the people that you gave your everything to, the people that you love to come back and help you.
Yeah.
See, here we have it. We got his wife, the woman he loves. The two, they got two wives, right? He got two wives, man. I don't know how he love woman, that's why he ain't helping me. You should have picked one of us, bro. But he got his two wives over there. He got his 11 sons. 11 sons over there. He gave them everything. You got your sons, you give them everything that you got. When you got kids, you give them everything you got. You pour into them everything. And then you got your two servants. They female servants, so you know how that might have been. Might say he got 4 wives, some of y'all might say. But either way, he got 2 female servants, and with the female servants, they supposed to obey you. The servants, no matter if it's female or male, they supposed to obey you. They supposed to be there to help you. So you got the ones you love, the ones that ride with you, and you got your servants, and yet nobody come over there to help you.
Yeah, they don't like you.
The thing is that we got to understand is that God is saying, I'm going to wait until you're at your most vulnerable state. I'm going to wait until you gave everything away. I'm going to wait until you just by yourself. Well, what we didn't read is Jacob at this time is running from his brother because he's scared that his brother's coming to kill him. So at this point, Jacob's paranoid already.
Yeah, he's scared.
So you by yourself and you already scared, looking back everywhere you go, and a man come up behind you and just grab you. God is saying, I'm going to wait till you vulnerable. I'm going to wait till you at your weakest. I'm going to wait until you think there's nothing else you have, nothing else you can do, just to see how committed you are to me. See, this is God saying, I want to wait to test your commitment. I'm going to wait on you to test your commitment. I want to see what you got inside of you. See, and many of us today, we act like we can't do ministry unless there's some people with us. See, Minister Spicer has been trying to get people to come up and do ministry, join ministry, pass on every member of the church to be a part of ministry. Some people I know have excuses. Well, this ministry ain't for me. That ministry ain't me. I can't sing. Well, this ministry ain't for me. I guess I ain't too nice, so I can't usher. This ministry ain't for me because I don't like serving. Whatever the reason is, we act like we can't be committed to what God has in front of us. But yet we expect God to give more and more to us. Right. See, and in this, Jacob's by himself. And God is saying, what you going to do when you by yourself? Are you going to show your commitment to me? Are you going to keep fighting, or are you just going to throw in the towel and say, I give up? See, what let me understand that Jacob was a real fighter, it was that if Jacob wasn't a real fighter, when God would have grabbed him, he would have just let him go. God would have grabbed him and Jacob would have just took that whooping. He would have surrendered immediately. But Jacob, he was what I like to look at, the one of the real G's. He wasn't going out without no fight. See, Jacob ain't care who it was that came up behind him. He ain't need nobody with him. If it's you and him, it's going down if you grab it. Now, some people, we need more people just to be able to speak what God says. We need more people just to be able to say what's on our mind concerning Christ. We need more people to just confess what we believe just in our own lives. We won't even admit things that we want to do in our own lives unless there's more people with us. Right. See, I believe deep down inside that if we had faith in the commitment that we put in God, more and more people be successful rather than failure. Yeah. See, the second thing that we have to do is we have to endure when things feel out of place. Yeah. Verse 25 and 26 says, now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, that's God. When God saw he didn't prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip. And the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Jacob once again is showing he's a fighter. He's going to fight till the death. Jacob is like what my dad used to say, one of them country boys that you don't want to fight because they don't never know when the fight is over. Punch them and they get back up. And you're right, D, you got to kill him before, because hurting him ain't going to do it. If you hurt him, he's still trying to do something. I tell y'all, I got into a fight once upon a time at Central Michigan University. This big boy from Canada. And we was driving and he kicked the mess out of me. I fell out the car. I felt like running. But I said, if I run and I go back to this dorm room, he probably gonna try to whoop on me. So I waited on him to get out that car and I began to whoop on him. When I began to whoop on him, I got tired. And when I got tired, he felt like he had some more energy. I timed out on him. I said, hey. You already out there whooping. We got to take a break. He wasn't having it. He still want to fight. I'm looking around like, hey, who's going to break this up? Because I'm tired now. He just didn't understand that the fight was over. I would hit him. He would fall. He's still fighting. I'm just looking around. Listen, looking for the driver of the car. You was driving. Grab me. Just take us all home. We done. The thing is the question is, again, how do we endure things when they feel out of place? They ain't have nothing to do with out of place. I tell y'all that story. It's this story from the story so you can see it. So here it is. How do we handle situations when things just don't feel right? How do we handle when things just seem out of place? See, Jacob's hip socket was out of place. His hip was out of place. Separated, dislocated. So, how can we handle it when the ministry not working the way you think it should work? How can you handle it when the choir not singing like you think they should sing? When the musicians ain't playing like you think they should play? When the kitchen committee ain't cooking the food you want to make? When the preacher ain't preaching what you want him to preach? You want him to preach about love this month. He's preaching about commitment and you mad, so you don't show up the whole month. What you gonna do? How you gonna endure when the preacher you want to preach ain't preaching? Pastor got 3 of us and then himself, so it's 4 of us like 3.
Amen.
Wonder where y'all gonna be this Sunday. I'm gonna be able to look. I'm gonna say, yeah, they don't like when I preach. But how are you gonna endure it when things just don't sit right with you? See, God is saying that there's going to be times where He just touches your situation to make it out of place. See, right there in that aspect, He touched Jacob's hip. He didn't grab it. He just touched it. And just knocked it right out of joint. Now, I know that there is no way possible that I can touch somebody like this and knock a body part out of joint. If I do that, I'm a bad somebody. People just better watch out for me. I'm just going, knock people on top of their head, just touch them and it's dislocated. Just touch a body part and it's shifted. So God is saying, I'm going to shift your situation sometimes just to see how you can handle it being shifted. Right. See, how are you going to be able to handle when everything is always going straight for you? Everything is always connected. But once in a while, God's going to knock it off balance. See, the thing is God is shaking some things up in our lives just to see how we're going to handle it. See, the reason why you're in pain sometimes is God want to see how you going to handle that pain. He want to see if you still going to ride with Him. Are you still going to praise Him? Are you still going to shout for Him? Are you still going to come to His house or are you just going to go somewhere else? Are you going to still come to God and know that you're going to join another church? God is shaking things up, moving things in your life, not to just confuse you, not to confuse you at all, but just to see what's really in you and if you can endure. God is saying, can you stand the test of time? Can you take that test that God is putting in front of you? And the thing is, my brothers and sisters, that I'm giving you the answers right here from His Bible. So when God tests us, we should already know the answer now. Yes, sir. Things going crazy in our lives, we might, my back hurts a little bit. It seems like God's trying to test me. God's trying to shake something up in my life. But many times when things, not even body parts, just when things start changing up in our life, we want to start going a separate way.
Amen.
It's easy to walk straight and keep walking straight and keep walking straight. But what we going to do when there's an obstacle in front of us? What we going to do when this block is in front of us? Are we going to go which way? And God is saying, where you don't know where to go, all you got to do is look at me. I'm going to show you the correct way to go. You just got to look for me. And many times it's that we aren't looking for God anymore. We're looking at it and saying, I'm going to keep going straight. I'm going to keep going straight. And then once we hit it, we saying, which way the easy way? Which way going to get me what I want?
Easy way.
Which way going to get me what I feel like I need instead of what God's telling me I need? See, which way is going to make me happy? Which way is going to put me in the right position compared to putting God first? See, we're looking for that shortcut, D. We're looking for the easy way out in life. And the only problem with looking for the easy way out in life is when we do that, at some point, things gonna get difficult. I remember being in high school and I never took notes. Never took notes in class. Got to college, went to Central Michigan, had 4 notebooks, first class. I'm thinking I'm going to just sit there because a lot of people and I'm going to go take me a nap. Everybody by me taking notes. I ain't know how to take a note in my life. By the end of the semester, I back here at Albion. My dad came up there, he wasn't even mad. I heard him knock on my door. Hey, you ready? He didn't have high school with my grades looking like we just, hey, you already packed? Yeah, I'm packed, Dad. I already knew you was coming today. Semester over today. You know, I don't even know to this day if he's seen my report card. I looked at it online and I was like, I don't want to show him. But the thing is sometimes in life, we know ourselves we ain't doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So it ain't no need to front like we doing something. Ain't no need to deceive ourselves and say I'm doing something just because we want people to think we doing something. See, when we ain't doing what we know we supposed to do, we ain't aligned right with the body of Christ anyway. So we the ones that's out of place. So things aren't actually out of place. We're the one out of place. So our pastor is saying, let us join a ministry. And some of us are saying, I don't want to be a part of a ministry because this, that, and the other. We're the ones not lined up right with what we're supposed to be doing here in Massachusetts. See, being disobedient to what the pastor is asking is disobedient to Christ. I'm going to break it down to you because some of y'all are going to be like, man, that ain't true. Think of this. As a pastor, Pastor McKenzie gets the word directly from whom? God. Gets it directly from God himself. So God is saying, this is the direction that I want Macedonia to go. And if Pastor McKenzie is saying, this is the direction we're supposed to go, this is what I want us to do, or this is what God has told me for us to do, and we decide to do something different, we ain't disobeying just Pastor McKenzie. We ain't disobeying Pastor, we disobeying God. So in that sense, doing the opposite of what Pastor's saying is we sinning. So at what point are we going to align ourselves right? When I used to wrestle, I remember right at Albion High School, I had a friend. We were going against Hillsdale. One of my teammates, his shoulder got dislocated. And during the match, he came over and said, hey, it popped out again. It popped out again. I'm telling the coach, it popped out again. And I'm like, bro, you might want to sit on down. You're going to take this L on this one. And he telling the coach, I can do it. I can finish. Just pop it back in place and I can finish. It's about to be the third period. Pop it back in place, coach, and I can finish. Coach looked at him and said, you sure? He said, Coach, I want this. If I win, our team win. So Coach grabbed it and popped him back in place. At what point are we going to pop ourselves back in place? At what point are we going to pop our lives back in place in alignment with what God is doing? Because this is a team right here. There's no big I's and little U's on this team. See, I may say a lot and all those things, but that don't make me more important than anyone else. See, the choir members, Just because some people have solos and others don't mean that they can sing more than the other one. Just because pastor is the pastor of the church and his wife is the first lady of the church and Jeff is the drummer of the church doesn't mean that we don't have roles that we have to follow ourselves. So at what point are we going to pop ourselves back in place and in line with God's word? See, somebody read to me 1 Corinthians 12, 25 and 27. Next page, we got a lot of scripture.
1 Corinthians 12 and 25.
1 Corinthians 12, 25 through 27.
After the same manner also he took the cup, when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
That's the wrong one. That's
25 through 27.
25 through 27. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wrote it down wrong. That's on me. 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. Let me read it. It says, For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Christ. That's what I want. So what we have here, I'm sorry, that was on me.
Oh, okay, I see, okay.
You was obedient.
I was obedient.
So, and then 25. No, that's right, 25. It says that there should be no schisms in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice in it. That's 1 Corinthians 12, 25 and 26. So with that, what I want us to see is when pastor preaches, we preach. When people saying, Pastor preach good, that means we preach good. When the people say the choir sang good, that means we sang good. Don't nobody here in Macedonia get no more credit than the other.
This ain't no solo thing.
It is not a solo operation. So the thing is once we get in our minds that it's not a solo act, there ain't no Michael Jackson in this act. I guess we all gonna be Tito. Once we all realize we Tito and not Michael, we can be Jermaine if we want to. All be the same person. And once we realize that, we will realize that none of us are more important than the other. All we got to do is align ourselves right with what God is saying.
Amen.
See, point number 3. Say you have to fight through discomfort. Is this making sense so far?
Yeah, you have to fight.
You have to fight through discomfort. Verses 25 and 26 once again. Well, what it says again is, Now when we saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him, and he said, Let me go before the day breaks. But he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me.
Right.
In these verses here we see that Jacob was physically injured. A part of his body was dislocated, so there's a physical ailment. Whenever there's a physical ailment, it affects your overall mind frame.
Oh, it does.
It makes you question, how much more can I endure? How much more of this am I willing to take? You start telling yourself that it really isn't worth it. And eventually you may start believing in things that you are saying to yourself. Proverbs 23 and 7 says, So as a man thinketh, so is he. So the words that we say to ourselves, that's what we start to begin, we think of ourselves. That's what we began to believe. We tell ourselves, I can't do this. Then you begin acting that way. You tell yourself, I can't be a teacher here in Macedonia. You won't be a teacher here in Macedonia with that mindset. You tell yourself, I can't be in a ministry here. You won't be in a ministry here. You tell yourself, I can't be committed. You won't be committed. So whatever you tell yourself, that's what you end up becoming. So why don't we start looking at it and understanding what God says about it? I'm the head and not the tail. I'm the first, not the last. I'm chosen. I'm mighty. All these great things God said about us. I'm the salt of the earth, the light of the world. Why don't we look at ourselves in the good aspects compared to always looking at ourselves what the world gonna think of us, what the world gonna say? I got enough people telling me I'm ugly. I'm gonna tell myself I'm fine.
Beautiful, bro.
I just took 8 pictures of myself since this morning. I was like, hey, your hair, they might say it's a mess, but bro. Tori, you know what it feels like? You get dressed and you, I'm gonna kill him with this, I'm gonna kill him with this. See, sometimes in life you gotta encourage yourself.
Right.
See, Jacob was all alone. He was vulnerable. He ain't had nobody to encourage him. So while he was wrestling with God, I'm sure in my mind that he had to encourage himself to keep going. It said he was holding him, and God said, let me go until daybreak. He was holding me for a long time. So what's making you hold on that long even though you're in pain? I know when I'm in pain, I like to grab the spot that's hurting. So you all the athletes, y'all might know what it feel like to get a Charlie horse or a cramp. You running, you just, See, you grab that part that's hurting. But yet, he couldn't grab what was hurting because he was too busy grabbing what was hurting him. Y'all didn't get that. Y'all missed it. He couldn't grab the part on his body that was hurting because he had to grab the individual that was physically hurting him. He had to grab the one that just touched him and put his hip out of sight. So the thing is when are we going again to fight through that discomfort, fight through the pain? We get heartache and we want to just throw in the towel.
So easy to quit.
It's so easy just to say, I'm done. You think about this. All of us here know members of various churches that's been hurt. Not even in the church. It's just been hurt. And they gave up on God. They get hurt by something that ain't got nothing to do with the church. And they give up on God.
Feel sorry for yourself.
They get sick. And they say, God shouldn't have let me get sick. I'm done. They give up on it. See, but then we get some people, y'all, that they get sick and they want to pray and pray and pray, and then they get sick and they get healed and they leave us.
They get what they asked for.
They get what they asked for. But we have those individuals that just feel a certain way inside and they don't want no more. See, they want to just give up. They don't have no fight in them. I preached a while back a dead dog. They got that dead dog mentality. They just lay down. They just let whatever happens to them happen. At what point are we going to stop? And this is a thought I had, y'all. At what point are we as people going to stop hearing out and giving up on what we got? I'm going to tell y'all, I went to the council meetings the past few months. And the council right now is talking about putting a partner with the YMCA at Battle Creek. I'm totally against it. Everybody have their own opinion, but I'm totally against it. I gave them a letter and said, y'all fools, if y'all think I'm going to stand by and let y'all just give up something else. They gave up the schools.
Right.
Our kids go to Marshall. I got 2 to go to Marshall right now, 1 go to Concord. I hate that they go to Marshall. They don't treat the athletes right. They don't treat the students right. And I had to encourage myself by telling me that Donovan is going to learn to fight by getting mistreated. That sounds stupid. I sounded stupid telling myself Donovan is going to learn how to fight by feeling like he mistreated, so he got to do more just to get ahead. Last year in football, the boy was great, good athlete, good football player. He started at receiver, and then he started at corner, and they don't let him play receiver no more. But the boys that they got at cornerback can't make a tackle. I'm sitting at the football game, and we got other kids from Albion on the team, and I'm like, we got kids that can make plays, kids that can make tackles, but yet you put these Marshall boys in that can't even run and breathe at the same time. They falling over each other. I'm like, man, one game I saw them hit each other. Wow. Boy, walk in the end zone. We winning 35-0, and we still lose the game. Wow. So what point are we going to fight for what we have left? See, we gave up so much. a fitness center in the middle school. We can't even walk in there. I snuck in one day and the dude was looking at me. I said, hey, Albion, I'm going to use this way. He walked over to me. I said, all right, I'm just playing. When are we going to fight?
Yes.
When are we going to say enough is enough?
Amen.
When are we going to say, I've had enough of being mistreated?
Help us, Lord.
When are we going to say,
Enough is
enough is simply enough? See, when are we going to fight through this discomfort? See, the school system was going through discomfort. And in my opinion, they brought people in that didn't know how to handle discomfort.
Amen.
So their way of handling discomfort is trying to give it to somebody else to handle the discomfort. But the folks they handed to didn't know how to handle our discomfort.
Pass the book.
I don't want to put it like this, but there are some people in Marshall that don't know how to deal with black kids. There are some people over there. I'm going to tell y'all, my kids, they like to fight. They're not real nice. Gloria got into an issue at school, didn't want to apologize.
Oh my God.
She didn't fight, but she was ready. I told her that day, I said, you be ready. You be ready. When she run that mouth, you wop, call it a day. You be ready. And I'm tired of everything they talking about, so you about to fight and all that. Show them that you about to fight now, yeah. Let them call me. So my wife called me and said, Zaria's in detention. Okay. I called the guy, I said, what happened? Well, she wouldn't apologize. I said, what's she apologizing for? He said, well, she hurt the girl's feelings. I said, didn't she come to you earlier in the day and tell you what was going on? And he said, well, no, she didn't come to me. I said, who'd she go to then? He started stuttering. Well, we was out there and there. I said, so it was a we, so that means it was you, right? He said, yeah, I was out there. I said, so she told you. He said, well, yeah, technically. I said, well, you should apologize to me for lying to me. My thing is this, guys. We got to be able to endure the discomfort, but not just stand for anything. Too many times here in Albion, we just standing for anything. Our council members, they confuse me because some of them just seem like they stand for anything to come their way. Our city has to be able to just fight. But we don't have no fight left, it seems like. But the fight used to come from the church. But it seems like the church is standing by just waiting on the city to do something. But the city is saying, when is the church going to stand back up?
It's our church. Church has to get right first, don't we?
Amen.
I'm almost done. I got on my feelings about
Amen.
that. So this was the lesson. Point number 4, we out of here. You have to keep holding on to God.
Amen. Got to.
Verse 28 and 29, and it says, and he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. Then Jacob asked, saying, tell me your name, I pray. And he said, why is it that you asked about my name? And he blessed him there. So this is for the people that want to get the blessing without the connection with the blessor. They want to get the blessing and don't want nothing to do with Jesus. You don't get the blessing unless you're connected to Jesus.
Amen.
See, Jacob didn't get the blessing just by holding on to him. Jacob got the blessing by showing God that I want this relationship with you. Jacob said in his head to me, he said, whatever this man is, whoever this man is that put his hand on my hip and broke it, I got to know who he is. I got to know who he is because his power is enough to break my hip. So I got to know who he is because his power got to be good enough to bless me. And if his power is good enough to bless me, it must be God. Because Jacob, I believe, knew something about God. See, Jacob had angels around him earlier. So Jacob had some type of know about this man named Jesus. Jacob had to know who God was. So what he was doing was, he wasn't just holding on for dear life. He was holding on for everything left in it. Holding on for his future. Holding on for his family. Because when God blessed him, he gave him a covenant, gave him a commitment, not just for now, but for later on. So Jacob was saying, I'm going to hold on for all my children to come later on. See, the thing is why aren't we holding on to Jesus like we say we should? We say we believe in him, but we let him go just because something happens wrong. See, we let him go just because things don't seem familiar to us, just because we don't know what's next. See, when are we going to start trusting God in the dark? Amen. The very first thing the Bible shows us is that God can do marvelous things in the night. He can do marvelous things when the light's not on. So if God can put a sun in the sky when it's all dark and make all of these wonderful things, why can't we trust him when we don't understand? Amen. See, Jesus is saying, hold on to me. All you got to do is hold on a little while longer. Endure the pain, endure the discomfort, endure the pressure, endure everything people are saying about you. Just hold on to me, and when you hold on to me, where I walk, you gonna go. The higher I go, you gonna go. The more I go, you gonna go, but I'm not gonna take you too low. You just stay with me. But the thing is many of us feel a little uncomfortable being real about our Christianity. I heard a kid the other day was looking at some people that came from church. And they say, oh, them church boys right there. Them church boys. I said, church boys. Because they go to church, they church boys. Y'all don't like church boys. I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with girls? I don't want church boys. Y'all want drug dealer boys? y'all want nobody boys? Y'all want boys that don't know Jesus? Because if they don't know Jesus, they sure can't love you. Right. So, and that's the thing. As people, we got to understand that we got to keep holding on to Jesus. Because the reason that we hold on to Jesus is because he thought about us when he was on the cross. He held us when he was holding his own arms up. See, he held us when they were piercing him in the side and blood came out. He held us when they placed him in a borrowed tomb and he came back out. So if he's holding us then, what's so wrong with us holding him now? Because if we hold him now, what people gonna do to us? What can people say to us? What can anybody do to us? If God be for me, who can be against me? So if I'm holding on to God, that means I'm behind him and somebody and God's in front of me. So every hit that he takes, he gonna get it before me.
He's your protection.
That making sense? Let's stand to our feet.
Amen.
Father God, we thank you right now for this opportunity to clear you from your word. We thank you right now for just reminding us to hold on to you and to remain committed to you, remain committed to your word, remain committed to your church, Father God. Father, we ask right now that we are all disciples of you, Father. That our commitment is seen in your eyes. We are committed not for others to see, but for you to see. We want you to feel our commitment, Father God, and let you understand that our trust is all in you. We trust and depend all on you, Father God. So we ask that you continue to bless us, Father. We ask that you continue to strengthen us. We ask that you continue to guide us. Not so that we can get the glory, Father, but so that you can get the glory when our commitment in you is shown. In Jesus' name, let us all say amen.